political analyst na si Ranjit Rai ng University of the Philippines. Magandang hapon po, Professor.
Magandang hapon, Ruth, at sa lahat na nanonood ng CNN.
Una po muna, ano po ang inyong overall assessment dito sa ikalibang sona ng Pangulo?
Well, kung ang content lang ang pag-uusapan, I think the President was able, kasi ang key theme ng SONA was reassurance how to reassure the nation. Well, kung 10 points ang perfect score, di siguro bigyan natin ng 5 to 7 points siguro yung natin for trying his very best to reassure the nation. Alam mo yung tema ng kaligtasan, kalusugan, kabuhayan at kaunlaran, very resonant dun sa speech. Bagamat, alam mo, medyo yung messaging nawala dahil alam yung style ng president, yung rhetoric niya, napaka-controversial at saka colorful. Minsan nawawala yung message. But unlike other sonas, mukhang nakaisang oras siya on the message, reading the speech. And kaya medyo substantive yung naipamahagi, no? Doon sa kanyang prepared speech. Nawawala ng konti pagka nag-extempore si President. Pero gano'n pa man, nailatag naman yung gusto niyang sabihin. Bagamat kung para sa akin may mga pagkukulang, number one na pagkukulang yung talagang plano yung para sa COVID. Importante kasi yung kalusugan at on top of the minds of most Filipinos based on the recent surveys, no? So importante 'yon. Tapos yung kabuhayan, no? Although maraming pinag-usapan si President ng proposed legislation na makakatulong lalo na sa pag-entice ng big business, no, through tax incentives and other types of fiscal incentives. Nandiyan rin yung Bayanihan Hilas 1 version 2 na may nakadikit na stimulus package, no. Kulang pa para sa akin yung detalye. Doon sa mga kababayan natin na nasa informal sector po. Doon sa formal sector, klaro tutulungan ng business, papautangin yung mga small businesses. Kailangan natin ng konting linaw pa doon para sa mga the poorest to the poor sa ating bansa. And so siguro nagkulang man doon, may mga pre-sona naman And I think in many of these pre-sonas, many of the programs were very much detailed by the different departments. So by and large, there's always, the SONA can always be better as far as I'm concerned. But for this round, I think the message, significant aspects of his message were delivered.
Yung sinabi mo na in terms of magandang sinabi mo in terms of reassurance, you're giving 5 to 7, and then ang kulang lang for you is yung on the part of yung plans for the informal sector, ano. But health
for the very poor, poor Filipinos. I mean, majority of those who are hurting right now, we've lost more than 8 million jobs. And close to more than 5 million people are suffering from hunger. And that's the real state of the nation. And while the president cannot talk about all the details, no, this is the real challenge for him. The last 4 years, no, have been relatively successful for this administration. At least the first 3 years have been relatively successful for this administration. And now much of what has been achieved has been lost because of the last 3 months, no, of COVID, no, last 4 months of COVID. And now the focus is on ano yung legacy po ni President? Will it be death and disease, or will it be development, no, and inclusion, no, and empowerment? So yun ho yung yun ho yung struggle ng administration ngayon, is how can we recoup, no? How can we regain the momentum? And for me, yun ang pinaka-importanting focus over the next few months. Let's focus on COVID. Let's see if we can build the momentum towards some form of growth over the next year or two, till the end of his term.
Professor, nabanggit mo na yung legacy, di ba? Usually at this time na remaining 2 years, ang presidente nandiyan na nga, yung inilalatag niya na yung iiwan niya, di ba? Doon sa bago matapos yung kanyang administrasyon. But before we went into COVID, the president was enjoying excellent satisfaction and approval ratings. Of course, paano kaya nakaapekto yan and makakaapekto pa in the next 2 years?
Surprisingly, he's still quite popular. When you look at his satisfaction and trust ratings, at least those survey companies that have been able to conduct surveys, no, you'll find that a significant portion of of our
Wala tayong Facebook.
people still support and trust the president, and that's very important in a situation of crisis, that you have so much political and social capital that you can utilize. No, people's trust is important because when you during a time of crisis, you'll need cooperation, collaboration with with
Mhm.
people and with your citizens, and that should help him push significant reform forward, and at
Mhm.
least his own response, significant government response for COVID. The question is, what's the response? What's the blueprint? And while he did not talk about it in detail in his SONA, I think over the last few weeks we've already seen the transformation of that strategy,
Mhm.
COVID strategy, from the national government to the local government. And it's a work in progress and still being refined. So yan ho ang importance of
Mhm.
having lots of political and social capital. You can make all these adjustments, you can make these important decisions and implement them.
Mm.
The key problem with government now is implementation. I think
Yes.
the plan is there, the framework is already in place. We know better now how to manage, because
Mhm.
by experience, by hard experience. No? Now the question is, how do we deal with the surge in NCR? And that's the clear and present danger today.
Mhm. Pero
Kailangan po nating seryosohin yung surge ng COVID cases ngayon.
mhm.
And what's happening in Rizal is not helping us, no? Create that picture that government is in charge. Buti
Yeah.
na lang, nag-recalibrate ang government, inaayos na nila yung sitwasyon dyan. Government needs to reassure the public that it's in charge. And I have no doubt, no, that it can. Ang gusto
Ah,
ko sa
mm.
speech,
Mm.
apart from the litany of more than 20 priority projects, many of them old themes na, old projects na, old legislative agenda that hindi na actionan over the last few years, yung admission ng government na yes, we could have done better,
Okay.
and yes, we cannot do it alone,
Mhm.
and yes, we need help.
Yeah.
For us to move forward, we need civil society, the private sector to work
Okay.
with government in this fight against COVID-19.
Professor, binanggit nyo na yung mga sinusulong na legislation at batas. For the second time since last SONA rin, sinulong niya yung death penalty for drug-related crimes. Pero bago kayo mag-react dyan, let's take a break at makakasama pa rin natin si Professor Ranjit Rai ng UP. Dito lang sa